Hey y'all, welcome back to the Live with Audacity podcast. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving and enjoyed some chill time or time with your family or not. Whatever makes you happy, I hope you got to do a lot of it over the holiday. You may have noticed that we did not have an episode go live on Monday, and man, I beat myself up about that for a few days. But then I just let it go because I was busy enjoying my family and downtime and not worried at all about work. I am sure you all understand that, and I hope you understand that I'm building a business on freedom because I want to always be aligned and be giving you guys my best work. But I'm back, and I'm back in a big way and ready to light your hearts on fire. So here we go. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart. And today's episode features one of the coolest entrepreneurs I know. Seriously, Randee is the founder and owner of Well Soul Fitness, which is a local yoga, Pilates, and boot camp studio. First, I love this idea because my dream as a kid was to own my own dance studio. Not even kidding. And she's actually doing it. So I was so eager to have her on the show and be able to talk a little bit about that with us. Also, I really wanted to make sure I featured business owners that I know personally and showcase that you don't have to be at celebrity status to be able to have a successful business. This is particularly interesting to me and hopefully some of you because I think we get so wrapped up in social media and followers and all that and tend to forget a air quote small business can still be incredibly successful. You just have to decide what success means to you. You can absolutely be the next Tony Robbins or Oprah or Joanna Gaines, but you don't have to be in order to be successful. If you're having fun, doing something you love that's paying your bills and using your time to do things you want to be doing, then you're successful, at least in my opinion. So let's dive right in to Randee's episode. You're listening to the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart. Audacity is defined by Merriam-Webster as intrepid boldness or disregard for normal constraints. And that's exactly what we have here. The Live with Audacity podcast is aimed at giving you the courage to explore your someday dreams, do things your way, and start making things happen in your life right now. I'm a mama to 4 kiddos ranging from college student to kindergartner, wife to a high school football and track coach, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Together with my guests, we're going to teach you how to live with audacity and intentionality, discover and utilize your unique skills and talents, and step into who you are meant to be in order to make your someday dreams a reality. Are you ready? Here we go. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you went from being a coach all the way into having your studio?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. Pretty much it began, fitness has always been just part of my life, part of my passion, swimming in college and graduating with a degree in exercise science. And just whenever I graduated, I knew that I wanted to do something with athletics. And I kind of fell into teaching. I was back home and my mom was a little ill. And so I just kind of fell into teaching. It's a great job right out of college. It's a great job in general. And I did that for several years. Coaching, went from coaching high school to junior high and then back to coaching high school, and then took a couple years off from coaching and worked in the classroom. And then my husband and I decided we wanted to go ahead and start a family. So once that happened, it just really, to me, I started thinking about what my dreams are. Where did I want to go with my life? And it's a really funny story. So when my husband and I got together, we put on our love weight. And so when we got married, he lost 100 pounds right before we got married, and I lost about 40 pounds.
Oh
And
my
so
gosh.
it was really and all that happened within a span of about 10 months. It was really crazy. We both just really began to focus, back on ourselves and what our goals were, because he was a college athlete as well. And so through that, I just really again began to develop my love of fitness. And so once I had my children, it's a little bit harder once you have kids to find that me time, that time to be able to work out. But my kids grew up having to be, taken along in the jogging stroller. And I really began to focus again on, okay, getting back to pre pregnancy weight. And I had several of my families in our old neighborhood where I was coaching swimming coming to me and saying, hey, what are you doing? And asking for advice. And I told my husband, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to help others as well as myself, be able to do these fitness classes with a community of moms. And it really all came together pretty fast, and it's been exciting.
That is so great. Okay, so tell me, what is it about fitness that you love so much? Or and also, follow-up question, um, how did you really get into fitness, and how did your passion for this specific niche grow?
Okay. Um,
I know I just gave you 2 questions at one time. We can go one by one. What do you love most about fitness?
what do I love most about fitness? I love seeing the growth and seeing I'm a very goal-oriented person, and I love seeing others accomplish their goals, seeing someone go from being able to, barely do a push up to, well, even take that back. I had this year 3 of my clients who somehow I convinced, hey, let's run a marathon together. And literally the day that I convinced them to run that marathon, they were telling me, oh, we're never going to go over a 5K. And so this year I had one finish a half marathon and two finished a full marathon. And so I just really, with fitness, it's such a goal oriented industry. You come in, you set your goals of what you want to accomplish. And I guess that's just really something that, sparks a fire in me, as well as just, I mean, happy people, endorphins, working out releases those endorphins. And so
Yes.
just you seeing the smile and seeing again, the community that can come from working out together is really a fun thing.
I love that. It's the accomplishment that you get to see on your client's face that, "Holy cow, I did something I never thought I would be able to do." Because I gotta be honest, if someone told me I was gonna run a marathon one day, I would laugh and laugh and laugh.
Hey, don't challenge me. I might get you to do it.
Oh my god, that would be so crazy. But, no, that's so cool. Okay, so how did you get into fitness in general? Like, did it start as a kid, just in the sports that you were doing, or how did you get to this point?
Basically, yeah, from a kid just growing up, with neighborhood swim team, and then, right around junior high, my mom made me pick between dance and swimming, and so I chose swimming, and it just, through junior high sports and high school sports, doing track and volleyball and basketball and everything, but swimming just always was kind of my passion, or what I really just kept looking at, what was my next goal and what was the next thing I wanted to accomplish in the sport. And so I really stuck it out with swimming and went on to get a scholarship and swim in college. And
So cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. So you got your scholarship for swimming in college. You went through college. What How did you make the shift from specifically swimming to yoga and running and an overall fitness idea?
Yeah. So I would say originally it all started with my running, swimming I love it. I still love it. I coach it still, and I think it's such an amazing sport. But with the kids, once I had my own 2 kids, like I said, I really got back into running. They were in the jogging stroller with me all the time. I was running everywhere I could. And that's when I started signing up for a half marathon and doing other 5Ks and 10Ks. And, along with that, I'd throw in some Jillian Michaels videos and do some strength workouts. And it all came together. The yoga actually really became part of my life outside of just doing the random YouTube video or yoga class at the gym. It really became part of my life. About 2 years ago, I began taking classes at a local studio, and with me already having my own business, I really thought, "Man, I'm loving what I'm seeing, the changes in myself from my yoga practice." So I decided to go ahead and pursue and get my yoga teacher training. So that happened a little over a year ago, and I've loved it.
That's great. Okay, so once you decided to incorporate yoga and all of these things, how did you decide that it was time to open a studio?
I so I started my own company, like I said, a little over a year ago, and I was strictly doing boot camps and running clubs and teaching outdoor yoga. So everything was pretty much outdoors. I was in parking lots for the boot camps, running everywhere, with the run groups. We'd meet at different locations. And then my yoga was pretty much, I would do an outdoor yoga class in the evenings occasionally, but my really big hit with yoga was doing yoga wine nights at clients' houses. They'd invite me over, and I would do monthly wine nights with some yoga thrown in there.
That sounds like
And
so much fun.
it is. And so I was really happy with where I was at. But, during those winter months, it gets cold outside, and I just always thought, "Man, I wanna have my own space." And my husband, we have now currently, bought acreage, so I was kinda toying around with the idea of, well, we should build kind of like a mother-in-law house, but it could be a little fitness studio on our property. And so was toying around with that. And, I see a lot of clients, personal training clients, they come to my house now, and I have half of our garage turned into a little bit of a gym. But I still, I didn't feel necessarily at home with where my business was. And one day coming home from church, we were going to our favorite local spot, Holy Roast. And my husband, he, I guess, just hasn't learned after all these years that if he mentions something, I go with it with this fire, And we were talking about where I kind of saw the business going. And I told him, I really want to find a spot, a home for for my business, Well Soul Fitness. And down the road from us, there are lots of little I don't want to
Shops
say I'm
and
garage, but like, shop spaces. But we just happened, to go that morning to Holy Roast and grabbed breakfast and a coffee. And I just thought, man, it would be so nice to be next to this spot. It felt at home for me. That coffee shop always felt like a place I could take my kids. They loved it there, and it just felt at home. And not going to lie, the very next day on Facebook, we saw that the spot that was next to them was going to be opening up. The current owner of that spot was just had decided to close her business there. And I immediately reached out to our friend, Courtney. She's our realtor. And I said, "Okay, I want it. Let's go." And
oh my
she
gosh.
just kind of helped me through the process. It all happened really fast, but that's how I am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when did that happen? When did your husband say, "Hey, maybe we check this place out?" And so how long ago was that?
That was the end of February.
Oh my
And
word.
yeah, so we were looking at the spot. We went we were talking numbers, but the people that own, the shop in general, that I rent from, they weren't quite sure, I mean, they're the owners, and so they kind of, were just sitting on what did they see as the next business coming in there. Well, I'm
Mhm.
very, very persistent with my goals, and so I was constantly just kind of reaching out saying, "Hey, I'm still interested. I'm here." For just a couple of days, and we were told that it was possibly gonna be something else, and so I wasn't completely closing out the idea, and all of this, I mean, it was literally all within a span of probably, like, 10 to 14 days, and I thought, "Okay,
Wow.
well, maybe I'll look somewhere else because there's another spot in Rosenberg that I kinda had my eye on, but I love the idea of being, next to this coffee shop. So, it was a Tuesday evening, and my husband and I decided to take the kids to play bingo at a little pie shop. I won a pie that night, and it was about 9 p.m., and I got a call saying, "Hey, we would love for you to have this spot," and it was just my lucky evening.
Yeah, it totally was your lucky day. That's so crazy. Okay, so holy cow. So this happened at the end of February. It's
Mhm.
now the middle of June and you have been open for 2 months already. So
Yeah.
yeah, that moved really quickly.
Yes.
Is that that is so amazing. I am so happy that you're here to talk about this and really just like going for what you see and what you believe that you want. So, man, I love this so much. I'm so glad you're here to tell this story.
No,
Okay,
thanks for having me.
so um tell me how things are going, I guess, since you opened the studio.
They're going really well. I had a grand opening. I mean, did a yoga class for a grand opening, and the studio was packed. I mean, mats were lying next to each other, basically mat to mat. So it was really exciting. Um, it was very cool to kind of see my dream of what I wanted actually come, full circle, come to life.
Yeah.
So things are going really well. I've had a lot of new clients join. Like I said, I started with boot camp, so I had a really great community of clients there. I mean, I still do all my boot camps out in the Richmond Katy area. So this is a different, idea that came through, turning this more into circuit training, yoga classes. Now we're offering Pilates. So it's been really exciting over the past 2 months to add in other classes to gain new clients and to gain also a new community of people, supporting each other to accomplish their goals. I'm there to help guide them, to help them figure out what they want to accomplish, but it really is so much about the clients too that come together to get through the workouts and to motivate each other.
Yes, that's so awesome. Okay, so you decided to do this back in your hometown, back in our hometown.
Mhm,
When you decided to come home,
mhm.
um, what was the driving force for you to come home and build this business where you grew up?
I really feel well, first off, Rosenberg, I mean, what they're trying to do right now in the downtown area is just I'm fully supportive of that. I love when the tiny towns really stick to the roots, all these old buildings that are, not being torn down, but instead being honored what was there before, being restored, being redone, and bringing in these small business owners that have dreams, that have goals. And whenever, like I mentioned earlier, whenever I graduated college, I stayed in the area. We lived up near Magnolia for a little bit, but I was still in the Houston, the outskirts of Houston.
Mhm.
But having children, it did bring us a little bit closer back home to have the help of Nana, nearby
Yep.
to help us with the kids. And, I mean, I love the Rose Rich area. And again, just the roots that I have here.
I love that so much. And so how does your husband like raising your family here in the Rose Ridge area?
I mean, now especially we've moved on some acreage, having some elbow room. I mean, we really do like the area. It's, small enough, but yet big enough, to where you're
Right.
not overwhelmed with the city life, but yet we go to church and you have just the people that and we go to restaurants and you run into like Larry's, just getting to go to places that I grew up going to and getting to take our kids there. And he's fully on board with that.
I love that. It's so great when you have those hometown traditions that you can also show to, you know, well, for you, your husband, but for my husband grew up here, so
Hmm.
so our family and our kids, and we just get to, drive by different places and
Oh, yeah.
say, "Hey, we used to live there," or "We used to go
Yep.
there all the time after school," or whatever, and
Uh-huh.
it's fantastic. I love it so much. So what is one thing you would tell someone else who is thinking of taking the leap into doing what you do?
I would say just honestly, just do it. I feel like it can be scary, and believe me, it's not necessarily easy, but it's definitely worth it. Getting to follow what your heart really wants, getting to follow your passion. There's just such a satisfaction that comes from that, almost as though you're fulfilling your purpose, I mean, it just really I love what I do, and I feel like if you really follow your goals and your passion, then you're gonna be successful. So I just encourage you to really think about what it is you want, write it out, put it on a sticky note on your mirror and just work towards that goal.
Yes, I just love that so much. That's so exciting. Um, and if we can help one person do that, then this episode and this podcast as a whole is doing exactly what we have set out to do, is encourage people to live with audacity and use their unique gifts and talents to serve others. That is my
Yeah,
passion. That's my goal in life. So
I love
I'm
it.
totally on board with that. You gotta figure out exactly what it is you want and then just start little steps to get there. So that's
Yes.
fantastic. Okay, what has been your biggest win in your business?
I would say my biggest win is the community that has been built. For me, that's what it is. We we come together as I've stated a few times already, this all started with my boot camp, and I have a group of boot campers at each of the different time slots that just they are not just people that come and work out. We're friends, we're there for each other when someone has a baby, when someone's not having a great day, when someone needs a little motivation in the morning to get out of bed and to just come work towards their goals, we're there for each other. And I feel like that to me brings the most satisfaction is to see the friendships that have formed, the laughs that we have. It's just it's a powerful thing.
That's so fantastic. Yes, a good community is
Yes. And I feel like
everybody needs one.
Yes, and I feel like that's what has developed at the studio as well, and that's what's coming to life there. Last night, I had my first, yoga wind down at the studio, and it was an amazing event, and afterwards, we were just able to all sit down and chat and have a glass of wine, and it really just hearing the clients, their testimonies as to how they felt before they were looking for a home, somewhere to come. They had never done, certain classes. They had never done yoga before in their life. And coming here, getting to come to these smaller classes, it's just been very powerful for them.
I am so excited. I need to know the next time you do one of those because
Yes.
I wanna come so badly. That sounds so great. Okay, so tell me about a time you felt like you failed and what you learned from it.
Oh,
I know that's such a loaded question,
well,
right?
no, I mean, honestly, well, first off, as moms, I feel like sometimes we question each day if we have failed.
Right.
Um, but I feel, sometimes we're our own worst critics, and if I have a class that maybe was a no-show. At the studio, that's been one of my biggest things is what time frames, what classes do people want? That was probably what I stressed the most about. And so I remember it had been a couple weeks already of the studio open, and I had my first class of a no-show, and I broke down in tears. I was like, "Man, why did this just happen?" And learning to not take that personal. I've
Mhm.
been open at that time just a couple weeks. It was just a day where the regular clients at that time had something else. They have kids of their own and they had something else going on. So that's been kind of my biggest lesson learned is, yeah, every day isn't going to be perfect. Some days in class I might give a miscue and I might say the wrong thing, but just if we're able to grow from these different mistakes, not take things personally, and just again, be easy on ourselves. That's a big lesson that I've learned along my journey is to not be so hard on myself. We're all in this together. We're all learning. No one is perfect. We're all just you know, wanna
And no
achieve
one
our own goals.
Yeah, and no one's gonna hold it against you either.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I have learned a lot over the last 6 months or a year that, we get so bottled up in like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this because I'm
Mhm,
scared someone's gonna think this of me or think that
mhm.
or whatever," and what it really comes down to is that no one's really thinking about us at all. And so
We yes, we're
we
hard on
just need to
ourselves.
be yeah, we just need to be out there living our lives, doing our thing, and,
Mhm.
if the right people pay attention, awesome, and, the wrong people won't pay attention, so it's
There
gonna be
you go.
fine, just
Yes.
do your thing.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you working on now, or where is the business headed? What's the next thing that you're really looking forward to?
I have, like I said, we've started Zumba and Pilates now at the studio on top of our normal yoga and circuit training classes. So that is very exciting. And I've hired a couple of other instructors, which was also kind of a lesson learned for me is, hey, you can't do everything yourself. My
Right.
husband kept telling me that. So that's been a lesson learned. But those are exciting things, being able to grow in that aspect. And right now I'm just kind of just taking on the new schedule that I've released and just seeing how that takes off. But also, this afternoon, I'm meeting with a couple of other local business owners and looking at putting on some more monthly events for the community, for the clients. Again,
Awesome.
those are just opportunities for people to come together in a more relaxed environment and share dreams, share goals.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. Okay, so we're going to get into the rapid fire with just our last few minutes left.
Okay.
Tell me a book, article, person, or talk that's changed your life.
I would say, and I don't want it to sound cliche, but my mom, she with everything that I've seen her battle over the years, she every day wakes up willing to give herself to help not only me, but also help my brother and his family. Um, and that I think is where I really developed my passion for wanting to help others achieve their goals is from her, seeing her do it on a daily basis, no matter how tired or sick she is willing to. Right now, I'm coaching swimming, and she is getting to my house every morning, and she lives about 15 minutes away every morning at 6:45 to make sure that someone is here with my daughter, when she wakes up because my husband has to be at work and I have to be at the pool. So
Oh my gosh.
she's probably the most giving person that I know. And so I've
Yeah.
just really learned a lot from her.
That's fantastic. Yes, moms are totally underrated.
Yes.
I feel like they deserve so much more praise than we give them, so
Yes.
that's fantastic. Okay, what's your favorite Friday night at home if you ever get one?
Sweatpants, watching a movie, eating a pizza, but don't tell my clients that.
Oh my gosh, I know, that is my favorite thing ever. I want pizza and beer on Friday. I feel
Yes.
like they were just meant to be together.
Oh, for sure, and then I wouldn't even mind, like well, occasionally a rainy night too, I don't know, the rain just for some reason makes me feel all
Cozy.
yeah.
I love that. Yes. We should all get together on a rainy Friday night and have pizza and beer and sweats and movies. Oh, it would be
Yes.
the best.
Yes. Vacation.
Okay, so what was your dream job as a kid?
To be a meteorologist. I wanted to be
What?
a yeah, I wanted to be a what storm chaser, basically, but a weather girl, and that was I even majored in it for 2 years in college.
Oh my gosh. So, hold on. Is that because you watched Twister as a kid?
Oh, yeah, all the
Totally,
way.
right?
Yep.
I always thought about being a storm chaser too as a kid. I was like, "Man, this is so fascinating."
Oh,
That's so
yeah.
funny.
I
I
mean, don't tell
wonder
my husband, but my freshman year, I dated one a storm chaser, so
Oh my gosh. So, I wonder how many people became storm chase
from that movie.
yeah. Yes, exactly. Storm chasers or meteorologists from Twister. That's fantastic.
Yep.
Okay. So, what is the next vacation that you are planning with your family? Or without your family and just you and your husband?
Well, we're really big travelers. That is, besides for the fitness industry, traveling is seriously my biggest passion, traveling and cooking. And we like to plan pretty, you know, we love the outdoors. So we always each summer try to plan a pretty big vacation. Last summer we did the Highway 1 drive up the coast in California
Oh,
from yeah,
cool.
from Los Angeles up to San Francisco. So this summer, because of the studio opening and everything, we are still doing outdoors, but we're going to come a little closer to home. So we're going to go to Lake Hamilton in Arkansas and stay on the
Okay.
lake for a week. So that's
Oh
kind of
my
what's
gosh.
in the works right now.
That's so fun. So, are you guys gonna stay in a houseboat?
Oh, no, I was that's my mom's dream vacation, and I think it would be amazing too, but we're actually gonna stay, just on a house that's right there on in a house that's right there on a lake, and rent a boat for the time that we're there. So,
That's
we're
so
going
awesome.
July 4th week, so I hear there's fireworks on the lake, so we're really excited about that.
That'll be so fun, and I will say that you have to rent a houseboat sometime because
Oh, yeah.
it's the best. It's so much fun. Okay,
Yes.
so what's the best advice to help our listeners live with audacity?
To follow your heart. If you have an idea or a dream, just go after it. Like you said, take the steps in the right direction so you don't overwhelm yourself, but just follow your dream. Think about it, what it is that lights a fire in you, and take steps to achieving that goal.
Yes, perfect. Okay, where can people find you to get more information about, Well Soul Fitness and you in general?
You can check out my Facebook, Well Soul Fitness, Instagram. Also, I have a website. It's currently a little under construction, but the big part of it is up there, and it's www.wellsoulfitness.com. You can check out the schedule on there, and feel free to message or call me from the number listed.
Awesome. I am so excited I got to have you here, and tell your story about just going for exactly what you've always wanted. I think that's so fascinating.
Well, thank you for having me. I think just reading what you offer to the community, to small business owners, it's really inspirational. So, thank you for what you are doing to help recognize those putting forth the effort to follow their dreams.
So many people think that you can't be successful or you aren't successful unless you're super well known. Everybody knows you. And you're all over social media and all of these things. But my favorite thing about having local business owners on is that we all have to start somewhere, but also that just because, we are not, on the Today Show in the morning talking about, what we're doing or whatever, doesn't mean that what we are doing isn't so special and so important and so serving to our clients and our communities. So I am just so grateful that you came on to tell your story, and I sincerely appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, y'all, I had to jump in here real quick because I need a favor. If you are loving the Live with Audacity podcast, I need you to do me a big solid favor and share it with your friends, share it on social media, and go to the Apple iTunes link and click subscribe, rate it, review it. I need to know your feedback, and I want to keep putting this out for you, so I really need your help to get the message out. Thank you so, so much for your loyalty and your super kind and sweet words. They mean so terribly much to me.